What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name's Kyle. February 9th, as I record this is the Green Bay Packers full 7 round mock draft 2.0. I put my 1.0 out about a week and a half ago, and it had a lot of good reviews on it. So I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to try and do one maybe once every other week or something like that leading up into the NFL draft. So in that first mock draft, I ended up doing a defensive lineman, Byron Murphy, who I don't think we're going to get anymore. So we're going to be looking at changing up the mock draft from the 1.0, looking more at safety, looking at a couple other positions of need higher up in the draft. And hey, if you guys are new to the Fantasy Fellowship channel, I'm primarily a fantasy football channel, but my team is the Packers, and I want to put out some Packer content. So ride along, subscribe if you guys are new, hang out with me, and let's hop right into a screen share here. I'm going to be using PFF to simulate this mock draft, and we'll look at grades and things like that. And I just want to, off the top here, this is purely for fun. I am not a serious NFL mock draft scout. I'm not a player scout or anything like that. I do know most of the fantasy players that are going to be entering this mock or this NFL draft. So I feel good about the QBs, running backs, receivers, and tight ends. Still learning some of the defensive players, but I'm picking things up as I'm diving into more of this. So I just want to reiterate, this is for fun. It's not that serious. I'm just going to basically offer up positions and players that the Packers could be looking at with each pick here. And before I hit simulate to start the draft here, I'm just going to recap the depth chart real quick. I don't think we're taking a wide receiver. We look pretty good here. Watson, Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. I feel good about the top four. Melton and Malik Heath can chip in. Maybe we take a guy later in the draft. I don't think it's a day one or day two pick, but I'm open to it if we needed to. Linemen, offensive lines where we're going to need some help. I think Zach Tom's our right tackle. I think Elgton Jenkins our left guard. I'm open to bringing in competition for Josh Myers at center. We need to upgrade right guard. Orange players are free agents, I believe. So we'll see if we bring back Runyon, bring back Nyman. And then, assuming David Bakhtiari is not going to play, Rasheed Walker is our starting left tackle, who got better as the season went on. But left tackle, center, right guard, I think we could all improve those positions. Tight end, we're fine. Jordan Love, we're fine. Aaron Jones, good for one more year. AJ Dillon, I hope they don't bring him back. I'd like to see us draft a running back, so we'll probably look at some of those guys here. And there's a lot of good ones, not a lot of great ones in this draft class. But it seems, after I did my 1.0 draft and just looking at the comments, a lot of people want a defense-heavy draft. We got a new defensive coordinator. I think they're going to splash in this draft class and hopefully free agency and make some names here. Obviously, look at the secondary. Tons of orange here. Rudy Ford, Darnell Savage, Jonathan Owens, three safeties, free agents going into this March. And we're probably going to end up drafting at least one. And I think we're going to probably bring back at least one of these guys. Free agency, we're probably needing to bring in at least a veteran. We can't have two rookie safeties out there. And then at cornerback, Stokes, Jaire Alexander. Hopefully Jaire can, keep it cool and Eric Stokes can stay healthy. But Carrington Valentine, Corey Ballantyne, we need depth. We need either a guy that can be a number 2 corner or number 3 corner. So I'd like to add corner, and then Nixon, nickelback, more of a return guy, not much of a nickelback here. So that's the quick recap of the depth chart. And hey, let's get this thing started. I'm going to hit start draft, and we'll be up to pick here with our first round pick coming in at pick number 25. And it does say our team needs a running back, tackle, defensive line, and safety. Top available here on PFF's boards, receiver Brian Thomas, Kool-Aid McKinstry, who was a top 10 pick not too long ago in a lot of mock drafts. Ennis Rakestraw Jr., the cornerback out of Missouri. I've seen him go pretty high. There's an offensive tackle, Jordan Morgan. We're not taking Penix. I just watched PFF's live stream mock draft the other day, and they had Byron Murphy go top 15, and he was my 1.0 mock draft first round pick. I really, really like Byron Murphy. We need defensive linemen. I didn't cover that, I guess, in my depth chart analysis, but I do want more defensive linemen. Don't know if we grab it in the first round. Ladd McConkey, receiver, Kamari Lassiter. So a lot of cornerbacks available here. We do have an edge rusher, Chris Broswell. I kind of skipped over the depth chart, but we only have Rashawn Gary, Van Ness, and Preston Smith's not a long-term player here. So I would like to get a third quality edge rusher in this draft class here. But what do we do? Looking at cornerback, I think makes a lot of sense. Ennis Rakestraw Jr., the Missouri corner, has mostly been playing outside, some slot abilities here. He improved both years over the last couple years, and he has been primarily a guy that's been really good in the run defense. Fine coverage grade. Look at his completion percentage and his man coverage grades. Those are lower percentile rankings, but really good zone coverage. So maybe he fits into this scheme. Not quite sure. His size, 6 foot, 188. smaller corner. Kool-Aid McKinstry, very good 3-year starter here out of Alabama. Mostly outside corners, a lot of reps here. Not a lot of versatility with slot, box, and deep and things like that. But overall, strong coverage grade, strong run defense grades here. Zone coverage grade, pretty good. Man coverage grade is his worst. But overall, I think if we somehow got Kool-Aid McKinstry to fall to us, I think he's a fun pick. And maybe that, it gives us a little bit of I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but we don't know what's going on with Jair Alexander. Is he going to be here forever? Is Eric Stokes going to be able to stay healthy forever? I think this gives us a little thing in our back pocket where, hey, we have 3 really good corners now for at least this season. I think McKinstry would probably be my pick here. If we want to look at tackle, Jordan Morgan, a really strong left tackle here for the last 3 seasons, really solid grade the last couples, only given up 3 sacks in the last 3 years. Look at the pass block grade here. I think Jordan Morgan's an interesting player. If we wanted to look at left tackle, Morgan's a guy that I think could work. There's another tackle here, Tyler Guyton, who's primarily a right tackle, though, so we're probably going to stay away from him. But if it were me, there's really no safety that I want. And I know a lot of people in my 1.0 mock wanted me to look at safety here, but there's really not a safety that I think deserves to be of a first-round pick. So I'm going to stick with defense here. Kool-Aid McKinstry, our first-round pick in this 2024 Packers mock draft. And of course, round 2, pick 41. This is the Jets pick from the Aaron Rodgers trade. Now, I didn't address one of our major needs here by PFF. I took a cornerback. We need running back, tackle, defensive line, and safety. Now we can kind of start to address the safety position here. They are ranking this center from West Virginia pretty highly. We're not taking Penix. Not interested in receiver, but we should probably do our due diligence and look at those guys at some point. Tackle Graham Barton from Duke, a left tackle here, didn't play great last year, really strong grade in 2022. Not sure why he dipped last season here, but overall, he's a pretty solid left tackle position if we wanted to look there. I really like this edge rusher out of Penn State, Chop Robinson. Just a great edge rushing name. Really strong grades the last 2 seasons. Not a lot of productivity, though. Only 3 sacks and 5 sacks in the last 2 seasons. I like the hurries. He kind of dipped in hurries last year, but this is the guy that primarily lines up outside. A really good pass rushing grade here. Not a great run defender grade. I'm open to it. If we wanted to add another edge rusher here, this would be probably the guy to pick at this round range. I really like this left tackle here, Patrick Paul out of Houston. Only given up 5 career sacks as a 3-time full-year starter. Really good pass block grade, 91.5. Run grade can be better. Zone gap, slightly better in the zone system here. But 3 solid years as a starting left tackle, and he improved each year. He put up a solid grade here. Maybe this is our left tackle. Otherwise, we're looking at the safeties here. Again, and in my 1.0 mock, I gave us Tyler Nubin. And Nubin from safety here, 3-year starter. Really strong grades last year. He's a guy that can play deep, box, a little bit of slot. He's versatile, really strong coverage grade of a 90.1. And very high percentile rankings here. Missed tackle rate, only 9.4%. Forced incompletion rate's pretty high. His size, 6'2", 210. A lot of people like Cameron Kinchens here, the other safety from Miami, but I think I'm a Nubin guy over Cameron Kinchens. I do like what some of the things that I've seen on Kinchens tape here, 6'2", 205, though, a little bit smaller. I think I'm Team Nubin for safety. I'm curious what you guys think in the comments. And the PFF grades kind of back this up. If you guys just go watch their highlights, very similar things on tape, but I think I'm a Nubin guy. If we wanted to take a safety, that's probably the guy that I would prefer to take. And otherwise, if we don't take one here in the 2nd round, we're looking at a guy in the 3rd round, whether it's Kalen Bullock, Javon Bullard. I don't really like the Utah safety here, and there's another Georgia safety. But if we wanted to wait, I think I'm fine with waiting on Javon Bullard here. Really good coverage grade, okay against the run, high percentile rankings here, and his size, 5'11", 195. He's a little bit small. Otherwise, Kalen Bullock here from USC, 3-year starter, dipped a little bit in his grade last season, really poor run defense. So if we don't want to gamble on a safety late, I think you have to take Tyler Nubin. So it's a repeat from my 1.0 draft, but in the comments, let me know if you guys want to take a safety with this pick. I don't think maybe one of them falls to our other 2nd round pick here, but I think I'm going to just grab Tyler Nubin here, our starting safety for 2024. We do have another 2nd round pick 57 here, and this is where we can kind of have some fun. We got a really good player with our 1st round pick, a cornerback. We just drafted a safety. secondary. That's what a lot of people wanted in this draft class, and we just did that. So let's look around at some of the other positions. We're not going tight end. Adisa Isaac, Penn State edge rusher here. 2-year starter, improved dramatically year 1 to year 2, primarily an outside edge rusher here, but look at the run defense grade, pretty strong here. I like his high percentile rankings here, really, really good run, kind of an edge setter here. So 6'4", 254. I personally, I think looking at edge makes a lot of sense. We could look at tackle again here. Kingsley Suamataya. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Not a good grade though, but I like that he has versatility. Left tackle and right tackle. Strong pass blocker, not so great as a run blocker. So we'll cross him off the list here. Receivers, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy are good players. But one of the guys that I've been seeing people start to gather interest around is Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker out of Texas A&M. I don't know what's going on with Devondre Campbell. He didn't play his best last year. Quay Walker sometimes leaves more to be desired, but we got a linebacker here that's really good. Really, really fast. He's a box linebacker. Pass rush grade's very high. Run defense grade very high. This could be our future linebacker here. I don't know what happens after Devondre Campbell. I think we have a potential out in his contract in 2025, but man, it might not be a bad idea to be a year early and just have another linebacker that we could really, really rely on. And I don't know, what it means to have 3 good linebackers on your team. How many times can you get them all in the field together? But maybe there's packages where we can get Cooper, Walker, and Devondre Campbell out there. But he would be one of my top graded players. Now, he didn't play great his first 2 seasons. A tremendous junior year, though, out of Edgerrin Cooper here. So maybe he's the pick. Not exactly a pick of need, but otherwise, I really like T'Vondre Sweat. I like both Texas defensive linemen here. He's primarily a B-gap player, and really strong run defense grade. I think this could be a really big plug and play guy for us. He could come in and mix with Devonte Wyatt and Kenny Clark right away. We don't have a lot of depth behind Wyatt and Clark. We do have some need there at the defensive line. So maybe T'Vondre Sweat is of interest to us. There's Kalen Bullock, who fell to this range here. So if we wanted to look at safety, we could again. There's some tackles on the board here. But man, I'm going to just plug in either Isaac. I think edge rusher here makes a lot of sense, but Edgerrin Cooper is one of the best linebackers in this draft class, and we're going to go with the edge linebacker, or the linebacker at Texas A&M. So 3 straight defensive picks to start this draft. I do want a running back. I want some tackles and some linemen, and here we go. Now we get a little bit of fun. I went 3 defensive picks, 2 secondary players, 1 linebacker, and now we get 2 picks in the next 4 picks here. So I've kind of fallen into like I've done a lot of simulations off YouTube and just looked around at things. And for some reason, man, they give us pretty much any running back we want in the 3rd round here. So this is prime pickings here. Trey Benson's one of the consensus top running backs. I'm fine with Blake Corum, but I don't love his metrics. Bucky Irving's kind of like an Aaron Jones-like player. Audric Estime's a tank. He's got like Leonard Fournette vibes if you look at his tape. I like Ray Davis. I really like Marshawn Lloyd. And then there's deeper running backs too. Like I don't know where the guy from Tennessee is. Is he even on the list, or did he already go? But I want to actually see that. Where other running backs went in this draft? Jalen Wright went 71st overall. I like him a lot. But anyways, I think we take running back here. And they filtered towards the top here. Trey Benson's the 2nd best player. If we wanted to look at another corner, Jarvis Brownlee here, 3-year starter. He looks like he's okay here, but he's given up a lot of touchdowns, so we'll pass on him. But I think we just run this pick in. We're going to go with Trey Benson, the running back out of Florida State. Really nice player here. If you haven't watched his tape, please go do so. 6'1", 223. His stats last year: 905 rushing yards, 20 receptions. So he can do both things pretty nicely. A lot of touchdowns last year. I like that. And then he did, get basically 2 full seasons as a starter, and he played well in both years. He's growing as a receiver. This is the guy that I think could be the potential Aaron Jones replacement. And if not, he's a compliment to Aaron Jones right away. So sorry, AJ Dillon. Trey Benson's the pick, number 88 here. And then I've kind of identified, oh man, we got sniped here. I did identify a right guard for us. It was going to be Christian Mahogany, the Boston College guy. Right guard 2023, right guard in 2021. Not sure what happened in 2022, but dude's given up 1 sack in his career. Strong pass block, run block grade. So in a future mock, I would have liked to get, I've kind of been penciling in running back at 88 and guard here at 91. I really like Mahogany, so unfortunately we can't get him. But either way, we'll find some other guys for us here. There's some corners available. DJ James, Auburn, really strong 3-year starter here. He's given up some touchdowns throughout his career. Passer rating was his worst last year, but if we wanted another corner, I'm open to him. Okay, really bad against run defense, we'll be honest here, but his man coverage is elite and really good coverage grade here. He's okay in zone. I like DJ James. If you haven't watched his stuff, he's kind of fun. Otherwise, Jarian Jones out of Florida State. Another 3-year starter, 0 touchdowns given up in the last 2 seasons. Look at the passer ratings the last 2 years, 25.3 and 42.7. If we wanted to wait on corner, I grabbed one in the first. We got Kool-Aid, but hey, can never have enough corners. I think a good defense needs at least like 3 or 4 good corners. And I think just with not knowing what Jair's future is, and just sticking to best player available, maybe Jarian Jones is a guy that they double dip. And who knows? Maybe if we don't take the cornerback in the first round, maybe we're looking at cornerbacks here. I like both DJ James and Jarian Jones. Otherwise, there's some edge rushers here. Marshawn Kneeland, the edge rusher out of Western Michigan. Really strong run defense grade, really strong pass rush grade here. Really elite percentile rankings. Only 6 sacks last year, though. I like the hurries. I like the pressures. Maybe this is the guy that can kind of come in and be that number 3, number 4 edge rusher here. 6'3", 275. I don't love small school players, but maybe he's someone that we're looking at here. Otherwise, there's not a lot of other edge rushers until later in the draft. If we're looking at defensive line here, McKinley Jackson out of Texas A&M, kind of a 3-year starter. He's improved each year over the last few seasons. He can play A gap and B gap, so I do like that quite a bit. Again, if we pull up the Packers depth chart real quick, my bad. Packers, our lads. Let's pull that up real quick. They've been putting Slayton at nose tackle. Clark, kind of moves around here, but we don't have a lot of depth here. So I'm open to McKinley Jackson, but man, oh man, these corners are really good. Guard from Kansas State here, Cooper Beebe, a 3-year starter. Left guard, though. He does have some versatility where we could just collect him and kind of put him anywhere we want. So maybe that's the pick. Maybe that's the pick here. Just a versatile offensive lineman. You can never have enough of those guys. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I really like the cornerbacks here. DJ James, Jarian Jones. If we wanted to wait, I think that's where we could go. I'm fine with the edge rusher and the defensive lineman, but let's just grab a right guard for us, Cooper Beebe. And I know he played left guard in college, but he's versatile enough where we can kind of plug him in anywhere and see what happens. So 4th round here, pick 125. There's a safety available here, Jaden Hicks, Washington State. Kind of a 2-year starter here. Poor, kind of okay in run defense, really solid coverage grade, though. I like seeing that. He's a guy that lines up a lot in the slot, box, and deep, so he's versatile. Washington State, maybe he's of interest to us. His measurables, 6'3", 212, so he's a big safety. Marshawn Lloyd, man, if we wanted to wait on running back, Marshawn Lloyd's pretty good. Didn't get a lot of opportunity in the Caleb Williams offense with USC, but man, he's a tank. 9 rushing touchdowns in each of the last 2 seasons. He's 5'9", so he's short, but 210. He's thick. I do like Marshawn Lloyd quite a bit. He would be a nice pick. Looking at an edge rusher here out of Clemson, Xavier Thomas, kind of a 2.5-year starter. Maybe he got hurt in this season. This is a guy that's been productive when he's been on the field. He's kind of an average pass rush and run grade guy here, outside tackle. I don't hate it. A nice edge rusher in the 4th round, 6'2", 225. We just want him to be a rotational piece. That could be of interest. I do like the Taj Washington USC pick. Malik Washington's a really good slot receiver. 1,384 yards last year, 9 touchdowns, 111 receptions. If we wanted a receiver, he's growing on me. Texas right tackle here, my bad. 904 snaps last year, 876. He did play left tackle his freshman year, but he was really bad at it. So maybe we stay away from right tackle here. Otherwise, again, edge rusher here out of Colorado State, Mohamed Kamara, 3-year starter, 14 sacks last year, highly productive guy. I'm open to this pick here, primarily outside edge rusher here. 6'1", 250, a little bit undersized, but everyone kind of needs one of those guys. Gabriel Murphy, the UCLA edge rusher, though, is going to be my pick with this pick. 8 sacks last year, 3-year starter, tons of QB hurries. This is a player, 6'3", 260. I think Gabriel Murphy here is a really good pick at this value here. His ADP is 121. We'll get him at 125. But hey, we just plugged in an edge rusher here. And to recap here, I believe we have a safety with their we grabbed a cornerback round 1. Round 2, we got our safety. Round 3, we got our linebacker, our future starting linebacker. Or that was another round 2 pick. My bad. Round 3, we did go running back, and I believe we took offensive guard. Round 4, I can't remember who we picked. Let me look that up real quick. We just took him. Yeah, we just took Gabriel Murphy here. So we're hitting all levels of the defense now. And we got one more luxury pick here in the 4th round. Not sure who I like here. There's a lot to like. I've been looking at this Walter Roos from Oklahoma. Really good pass block grade, run block grade's okay. He's a 3-year starter out of Oklahoma, though. Primarily a left tackle guy. So this could, because we waited, we could give Rashid Walker the start this season. The dude's massive, 6'6", 320. But maybe this is some competition at left tackle. So we're just going to run that pick in here, Walter Rouse out of Oklahoma. So we're kind of hitting all of our needs now. I would like some interior defensive linemen to finish the draft. Maybe a couple other big bodies here, but we're up to pick here, round 6, 203. There's some linebackers starting to pop up the board here. Isaiah Davis is a really good sleeper running back if we wanted to look there. Let me just pull up the defensive lineman here. We have a little bit of some value here. Keith Randolph, kind of a 3-year starter here. He peaked in 2022. If we want an interior defensive lineman that can play B-gap over the tackle, he's kind of interesting, but he's got a poor grade. Evan Anderson, Florida Atlantic, a decent player here. Basically a 2.5-year starter. He plays A and B gap here. He's a big guy, 6'3", 356. Oh my goodness. So that could be kind of fun. Maybe we grab, Mayan Williams isn't very good. We could grab more linebackers if we want. NC State center, 3-year starter, but he's got, versatility. Left guard, center, right guard. I'm not opposed to grabbing someone here who's played a lot of snaps at many positions. He is 6'4", 304. Not a great grade in anything he does, but man, he's got a lot of snaps and reps at that position. Jalen Green, Mississippi State safety. I'm not sure why he didn't play last year. Maybe he was hurt, but he's kind of shown some average numbers here. Not sure what to do with this pick. It's kind of like a luxury pick. I like Zachary Franklin's tape. Not sure why he didn't play very well last year. Rasheen Ali is a decent running back. Man, we've already kind of covered everything here. I'm just going to take the interior offensive lineman and call it good there. We've invested heavily in the offensive lineman. We got a new running back here. We got all levels of the defense. Maybe we grab one more wide receiver. Yeah, let's take a look and see what receivers are left here. Nobody that I really like. Jordan Whittington's okay. Not a lot. He's got a lot of starter experience, but he's not a very good player here. So we have a couple picks left here, finishing our last pick in the 6th round. Let's just grab the bodies here on the defensive line. Evan Anderson from Florida Atlantic, he was the 356-pounder. Jaden Crumedy started last year in his rookie season or freshman year, didn't play much in 2022. Not sure if he got hurt, but he is 6'5", 305, 6'5", 305, and he's got a lot of versatility in his game. He can play A and B gap, over the tackle, some outside tackle. I'm open to this kind of average percentile rankings here. Maybe we take the upside. Tim Smith here from Alabama, another player here, basically a 3-year starter. And this is a guy that's primarily B gap. So maybe we could look at someone like that. But I'm going to grab Evan Anderson, the big fat fatty out of Florida Atlantic. 6'3", 356. Let's go. And we do have another luxury pick here. I wanted to get a wide receiver, but there's really no one that sticks out here. So what to do with this pick? We're not taking a tight end. We're not taking a running back here. Linebackers are available. Kenny Logan Jr., a 3-year starter out of Kansas, and he's pretty versatile. A lot of slot reps, box deep, really solid coverage grade, high percentile rankings. Let's just book him. 6'0", 205. We'll grab a Kansas safety here, and I'll watch some tape on him and see what I like. But we got 2 safeties in this draft. I believe this is our final pick of the draft here, 246. What can we find here? I do like Brian Ugwu, the edge rusher out of Miami, Ohio. 2-year starter here, productive last season. He can play over tackle, outside tackle, and some B gap here. Pretty decent run grade, solid pass rush grade. I like Ugwu as a potential number 3, number 4 pass rushing edge rusher here. Otherwise, you know what? I mean, at this point, this guy's going to be lucky to make the team. We're just going to stick with Brian Ugwu, just bringing another edge rusher here. And let's see our grade here. The draft is done. We went on about 25 minutes. Let's see what PFF thinks of my mock draft here, hoping for a B plus, but we shall see. All right, let's recap here. Where is my mock draft? All right, my first overall pick, Kool-Aid McKinstry, they gave me a B. He was PFF Big Board's number 23 ranking, and we get a B maybe because he wasn't exactly a fit for us. I don't know. But we'll take Kool-Aid McKinstry, what was once a top 10, 15 rated prospect. We get him on a bit of a dip. Tyler Nubin, they only gave us a C plus for the safety out of Minnesota. Edgerrin Cooper, they gave us a C. Troy Benson, they gave us an A. Cooper Beebe, a guard in the third round, they gave us a C. Gabriel Murphy, edge rusher out of UCLA, round 4, they gave us a C. They like the Walter Rouse pick here, Oklahoma left tackle for us. Dylan McMahon, a C plus. He's just another body that I think can, be a guy that we develop. They like Evan Anderson, the big fat fatty out of Florida Atlantic with a B plus. Kenny Logan gets a B grade, and Brian Ugwu gets a C plus. Overall, B minus grade. Again, just having fun, having a mock draft. I got us a lot of defensive players. We got a potential starting corner, safety, and a linebacker. Offensive line got revamped here with a guard, a tackle, and an interior offensive lineman. We got Trey Benson. Some nice pieces here. I did get us one defensive lineman at the end, another safety, and another edge rusher. So curious what you guys think. How'd I do? What could I have done better on? And let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you enjoy the rest of Super Bowl weekend. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.